another tutorial. This is conceptual massing, and we have our project here with the 3 volumes. And what if we want to generate volumetric definition, general definition for this part of our complex, of our set of buildings that has a little bit of a difference that we cannot achieve exactly through the, for example, its roof. We cannot achieve it through roof by extrusion, or neither by roof by footprint, or etc., etc. How do we define a special roof, for example, that curves in 2 directions at the same time? Or I mean, the walls, probably we can do them anyway by just selecting them and editing the profile and drawing whatever profile here. So in that sense, that won't be a problem. The issue is more of roofs, no, in that sense, and probably double curvature in also walls and roofs, no. So for that, we're using actually massing inside. Now, in place mass allows you to create your own little volumes. They're more conceptual based, or more, as it says, in place mass. So I'm going to press that, and the first thing it tells you is, what name do you want. I'm just going to leave it as mass 1. The way, once you're in the in place mass, you enter a different mode of Revit file. As you can see, not everything is the same as it's normally shown in the rest of the, and everything also is half tone, or like just kind of a turned down in its gray or its brightness, no? So the idea is that we draw things, we create volumes, and we say finish mass. I'm going to do a very simple one. For example, a rectangle. You're allowed to draw any kind of rectangle, and this is the magic button that we're going to be dealing with a lot in this tutorial. What it does is basically create any volumetric form from whatever type of curves or lines that you select first. So it will interpret somehow the lines first, and then by pressing that button, it will recognize what kind of volume you desire. So it's a little bit of a everything in one button type of process. So you could do lofts by selecting several curves, one on top of another, with different profiles. Could do a revolve by selecting a profile and an axis. You could do a simple extrusion, and it could do a sweep as well by selecting a profile and a rail afterwards. No? So if we select this option and we say create form, it's going to do a very simple volume. So at this point, you can actually modify this mass by selecting the lines individually, because they turn highlighted, or the points also individually. It gives you the gizmo that you can move in different ways. And if you press tab, you will be able to select the entire volume and move it, or whatever you might want to do. So the situation is that already this roof is not possible in terms of a definition by standard Revit creation of components. No? So once you're done, you say finish mass, and you will have this mass here. And great. So after this, you can create floors, you can create walls, you can create roofs by selecting the faces of a mass. Let's say I want to create a wall. If you expand the wall options, you will have wall by face. What it's expecting you is to select a face. The second you press that face, as you can see, it creates a wall for you. Now, what wall? Just the one that you have under properties. So you probably want to duplicate and you the same process as any other wall type. No, you can do also floors, roofs, roof by face. You select the roof, say create roof, and it creates the basic roof because we haven't changed it. No. Now we probably have to be careful when we start placing walls and roofs, as in what happens in um, the connection between walls and roofs, or between walls, or etc. So it's always important when we say wall by face that we check these options and try to fit it correctly, and align them correctly to the faces that we're generating. Let's say wall center line, core center line. So this really matters to take care of before you um, press this wall by face option. Okay, so again, you can do all kinds of things. Probably I'm gonna go back, Control C with this. Probably, obviously, you wanna create these lines in relation to the real plan that you're dealing with, so it has an exactness and dimensions. So afterwards, you extrude properly. Okay, so that's good. That's basic um, massing. By the way, once you finish, you can say cancel, and just you have your model there. And what happens here, let me go first again and create another simple mass. Let's say mass 1. Let's create, in this case, a cylinder. Selecting the circle, create form, it creates an extrusion. If it gives you two options, it's because that geometry, that circle, allows for a double interpretation by this magical button. So if we create a cylinder and we say OK, finish mass, and we're here. Under massing inside, you have this option to see or not see the masses. Sorry. If you go to VV, visibility and graphics, here's masses. So this checked means that doesn't matter whether I press this or not, because you have to have a double condition, VV. So that by default is unchecked, masses, which means that you can rule how you see or you not see the masses by using this button, which makes it tremendously useful when you start having faces or roofs or floors, etc., because you probably want to hide these guys. Also for floors, you can just select this element, say mass floors. It gives you the option to check on what floors do you want to generate floors. Sorry, in what levels you want to generate floors. It gives you those levels, and now you just have to go to just need to go to architecture and floor by face, and you can select as many floors as you want, and again making sure that this is the floor you want, and say create floors, and there you have it. So this will be the moment where the mass inside, show mass, form, and floors, it's useful now, because we have created immediately. Now this is a pure cylinder. All of them could have been copy and paste, but imagine a more complex morphology. So I'm going to leave it there. The next one is actually about massing inside, but instead of using this interface, the better way to actually deal with mass inside is by creating a family called conceptual mass and loading into the project your mass. So I'm going to leave it there.